Before humans reached the remote islands of Fernando de Noronha, before science revealed the richness hidden beneath its waters, an isolated sanctuary already existed where marine life found refuge in the middle of the Atlantic, in wild Noronha. Among volcanic reefs, crystal clear waters, and unpredictable ocean currents, countless creatures feed, reproduce, and seek protection, while struggling against predators, storms, and increasing human pressure. Welcome to Wild Noronha, Brazil's last refuge for marine life. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to continue creating quality content. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the video below and let us know where you are watching from to discuss together. Let's start. The journey begins in the crystal clear waters of Fernando de Noronha, where each day hundreds of spinner dolphins gather in one of the Atlantic's greatest natural spectacles. It is the spinner dolphin, Sternella longirostris, a species famous for its spectacular jumps and spins in the air. Its slender and perfectly hydrodynamic body allows it to move at great speed through open waters. It possesses remarkable intelligence and uses complex sounds, whistles, and clicks to communicate and coordinate with the rest of the group. Thanks to this close cooperation, the pod can react quickly to any feeding opportunity. However, it depends heavily on the abundance of pelagic fish and healthy marine ecosystems to survive. At dawn, the pod leaves the quiet bays and heads toward deeper waters in search of food. Shortly after, several dolphins detect a school of small fish moving near the surface. Immediately, the entire group begins to surround the prey from different directions to prevent their escape. The fish are gradually concentrated into a dense sphere that reduces their escape possibilities to a minimum. Then the dolphins take turns entering the school, capturing numerous prey with fast and perfectly coordinated movements. No individual interferes with another, as each one knows precisely its role during the hunt. In just a few minutes, most of the school of fish has disappeared thanks to the efficiency of the teamwork. Once satisfied, the dolphins swim together again, reinforcing the close social bonds that keep the pod united. In the transparent waters of Fernando de Noronha, the spinner dolphin proves that speed, intelligence, and almost perfect cooperation are the key to thriving in the ocean. Shadows thicken upon entering the underwater caverns, where daylight is only a distant and diffuse memory. The water remains almost motionless between the volcanic rock walls that guard millennial secrets of abyssal life. In the center of this stony refuge resides a sovereign of monumental proportions known as the Goliath grouper. With a weight that can reach 400 kilograms, this thick-scaled giant looks like a living extension of the marine mountain itself. Its fixed and patient gaze reveals the strategy of a predator that does not need speed to dominate its immediate environment. It waits for the exact moment when the current brings with it a distracted prey to satisfy its need for energy. This fish prefers the stability of coral reefs, where it can establish its territory for several decades of life. Its longevity is its greatest strength, but also its weakness, as its slow growth makes it extremely vulnerable to population alterations. Through its lateral line, it detects the subtle vibrations of a small fish that ventures too close to its dark hiding place. Every undulating movement in the water is processed by its sensory system with the precision of a highly evolved biological radar. The scarcity of large prey forces this colossus to be extremely efficient in each capture attempt so as not to exhaust its reserves. If it fails, the metabolic cost of moving its huge body mass could weaken it against the constant challenges of the ecosystem. The presence of these colossi is an indicator of the health of the reef, as they act as necessary regulators of smaller species. However, the peace in the cavern is only temporary, while other inhabitants of the deep blue look for their own opportunity to prevail. The coral structures of Fernando de Noronha stand like submerged castles beneath the golden light that pierces the liquid crystal of the Atlantic. Colorful fish dance among sea fans in a harmony that has endured for centuries in this corner of the world. This balance is as perfect as it is fragile, in the face of constant changes in ocean currents and global temperature affecting the reefs. The slightest alteration can turn this paradise into a white and silent desert of rock, where life struggles to maintain itself. Among the limestone labyrinths, a millennial silhouette appears, sliding with a grace that challenges the passage of time and distances. It is a 160-kilogram green turtle, a solitary navigator carrying the history of indomitable oceans on its shell. Its immediate goal is to reach the seagrass meadows to recover energy lost after a journey of thousands of kilometers through the sea. Each bite of vegetation is vital fuel for its slow but constant metabolism that allows it to live for more than 80 years. The life of this creature is a race of endurance, because it takes decades to reach the maturity necessary to ensure its lineage in nature. If it fails to feed properly, its reproductive capacity will be postponed indefinitely, risking the future of its species in the region. The turtle navigates with surgical precision, using the Earth's magnetic fields as its own global positioning system to orient itself in the blue. Its front fins act as powerful oars that propel it through the liquid immensity without showing obvious signs of physical exhaustion. Unlike other sea turtles, the adults of this species are mostly herbivores to optimize their nutrition in the coastal ecosystems of Brazil. Its serrated jaw is designed to cut the leaves of underwater plants with the efficiency of a biological shear perfectly adapted to the environment. The path to food is strewn with obstacles like ghost nets drifting, waiting to trap any distracted marine inhabitant. A single entanglement could prevent it from coming to the surface to breathe, turning its journey into a silent struggle for the oxygen necessary to live. The ancestral instinct awakens an inescapable urgency that forces it to seek the exact beach where it hatched many years ago. It must face the strong undertow of the sea and the gravity that now oppresses its heavy body out of its natural aquatic element. Its movements on land are extremely slow and laborious, as it drags its large mass over the virgin sand of the Noronha coast. The physical effort is immense for this marine giant, but the call of motherhood is much stronger than any accumulated fatigue. Under the soft moonlight, it begins to excavate a deep nest where it will deposit approximately 100 eggs in the shape of small white spheres. The site must be perfect to protect future life from the terrestrial predators patrolling the area in search of an easy opportunity. The sand temperature at about 28 degrees Celsius will determine the gender of the offspring that will be born after several weeks of incubation. A subtle change in the region's climate could alter the population balance of an entire generation of these ancient marine navigators. This nesting ritual represents a sacred bridge between the past and the future that ensures the species' permanence on the blue planet. The green turtle is a living symbol of resilience that reminds us of the vital importance of protecting every corner of nature that remains intact. Upon finishing its task, it returns to the ocean with the certainty of having fulfilled the most important cycle of its nearly century-long existence. The waves receive it again to erase its tracks in the sand and hide the treasure it has left beneath the warm surface. However, the fate of the small turtles that will emerge soon is uncertain and full of challenges that will test their initial courage. The sea always demands a high price from those who seek to claim their place in the immensity of the horizon where survival is the only prize. Amidst the panic of the surface schools, a figure emerges whose presence alters the calm of the deep blue. The Atlantic sailfish, scientifically named Istiophorus albicans, is the absolute sovereign of oceanic acceleration. Its most imposing feature is a massive dorsal fin that unfolds like a sail, granting it superior technical stability. Its upper jaw extends into an elongated and sharp rostrum, a precision tool designed for interception. This elite predator can reach a length of 3 meters and a body mass of up to 60 kilograms. It is recognized as one of the fastest inhabitants of the planet, achieving speeds of up to 110 kilometers per hour. Its hydrodynamic physiognomy allows it to cut through the liquid with minimal resistance, optimizing every gram of vital energy. Upon locating a school of sardines, the sailfish uses coordinated tactics that demonstrate amazing social intelligence. It performs rapid side-to-side movements with its elongated rostrum to effectively disorient and stun its targets. This specialized technique allows it to select specific individuals without needing to resort to excessive physical effort. During biological interaction, its body changes color to bright tones to communicate with other members of its group. Its eyes capture the minimum light radiation, allowing it to monitor the environment with absolute clarity in the upper layers. Its highly developed circulatory system ensures that its muscles receive the oxygen necessary to maintain a dynamic pace. As a regulator of surface species, it ensures that the balance of Noronha's oceanic ecosystem remains healthy. The sailfish represents the height of biological engineering, a bolt of silver reigning over the South Atlantic. When the sun disappears below the horizon line, the shadows of the reef come to life with the emergence of nocturnal trackers. The nurse shark, Gynglymostoma serratum, leaves its daytime refuge in caves to initiate its silent patrol through the coral domain. An adult specimen of this sovereign of the seabed can reach a mass of 110 kilograms and a length of 3 meters. Its nasal barbels are high-precision chemical radars that detect the trail of its targets hidden in the gloom. Its feeding technique is unique, using massive mechanical suction force to extract its sustenance from the deepest corners. Upon locating a crustacean hidden among the reef's crevices, the shark activates its powerful pharyngeal muscles explosively. This generated pressure is capable of displacing liquid with a power superior to that of many other trackers in the ecosystem. Its small and serrated teeth function as a biological press that processes the most resistant shells with absolute ease. Unlike other active predators, the nurse shark uses tactical patience to ensure its biological encounter in the dark. It moves flush with the seafloor at a constant speed, monitoring every centimeter of its vast aquatic domain with rigor. As a regulator of the benthos, its presence guarantees that the biological balance of bottom organisms remains at healthy levels. The nurse shark is the guardian of the underwater night, a pillar of resistance that sustains life on tropical reefs. Leaving behind the coral abysses, a silhouette of celestial elegance glides with a smoothness that challenges the ocean's gravity. The spotted eagle ray, known scientifically as Etobatus narinari, transforms the deep blue into a stage for aquatic flight. Its pectoral fins extend like massive wings, allowing it to navigate ocean currents with enviable technical skill. This inhabitant of tropical seas can reach a wingspan of 3 meters, becoming an aerodynamic giant of the reef. Its most powerful tool is found in its mouth, equipped with dental plates designed to exert phenomenal mechanical pressure. While patrolling the seabed, it uses its elongated snout to locate crustaceans and mollusks hidden under the fine sand. Upon detecting a signal, it dives toward the bottom, using its jaws to neutralize the resistance of the hardest shells. The applied force is sufficient to process crabs and clams, extracting the energy necessary to keep its metabolism active. Despite its technical skill, its reproduction rate is reduced, which demands constant protection to ensure its lineage. It moves in coordinated groups that seem to dance in synchrony, maintaining constant visual communication in the water's transparency. As a regulator of the benthos, its activity ensures that invertebrate populations remain at healthy levels for the ecosystem. The eagle ray is a poem in motion of the seas, a wonder of evolution that reigns with supreme harmony. Moving away from the deep currents, the steep slopes of Fernando de Noronha become the home of an aerial acrobat. The red-footed booby, scientifically named Sula Sula, is the most iconic inhabitant of the marine cliffs of this region. Its vibrant crimson limbs not only distinguish it visually, but also provide stability when landing on the branches of bushes. It possesses high-precision binocular vision, allowing it to locate the flash of a flying fish from a height of 30 meters above sea level. Upon identifying its objective, it folds its wings to adopt a hydrodynamic projectile shape and launches into a fulminating vertical descent. The impact against the liquid occurs at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour, instantly neutralizing the reaction capacity of its prey. Its skull has frontal air sacs that act as biological shock absorbers to absorb the mechanical pressure of the encounter. It is a tireless tracker that can travel distances of 150 kilometers in a single day of searching in the open sea. Unlike other specimens of its species, it prefers to build its nests in the treetops, ensuring the protection of its family unit. Its jaws exert a pressure of 50 newtons, enough to secure slippery catches with absolute firmness. It acts as a bioindicator of oceanic health, reflecting the abundance of food resources in the currents surrounding the island. The red-footed booby is the sentinel of Noronha, a marvel of biological engineering that dominates the boundary between the sky and the sea. Darkness descends on the white sands of the Noronha coast, while the rhythmic murmur of the waves becomes the only sound under the starry sky. The fresh wind from the Atlantic brings the scent of saltpeter, but also the warning that the night does not guarantee total safety for the smallest beings. From inside a deep tunnel emerges a pale creature with carved eyes that seem to catch the minimum radiation of moonlight on the surface. It is the Atlantic ghost crab, an elusive inhabitant that has evolved to dominate the frontier between the ocean and dry land. Its main objective on this nocturnal journey is to patrol the shore in search of organic remains to maintain its energy and the beach ecosystem in balance. Without its constant intervention, decomposing matter would accumulate, affecting the health of the sandy zones where life tries to thrive. If it fails to find sufficient food before dawn, its body will lose the moisture necessary to process oxygen through its modified gills. Nature imposes a strict schedule, where failure means being trapped under the suffocating heat of the tropical sun without any protection. The crustacean begins its search, traversing the terrain with an amazing agility that allows it to cover great distances in search of a nutritional opportunity. Its long and articulated legs are designed to minimize contact with the hot sand and maximize traction during its fast displacements. This small athlete can reach a speed of up to 20 kilometers per hour, which makes it one of the fastest runners in the animal world in relation to its size. This ability is vital for escaping dangers that suddenly arise from the air or from nearby coastal vegetation. Survival on the beach depends on a perfect combination of speed, camouflage, and deep knowledge of the rhythms of wild nature. Every night is a battle won against oblivion, where the small guardians of the sand ensure the tomorrow of an entire ecosystem. The light of dawn begins to tint the horizon in pink tones, forcing the Atlantic ghost to retreat to the safety of its permanent tunnels. However, other inhabitants of the depths prepare to emerge, while the ocean cycle never stops under the tropical sun. The Fernando de Noronha archipelago rises from the South Atlantic as a sanctuary of turquoise waters where sunlight penetrates to the coral depths. Warm currents embrace these volcanic islands, creating a perfect refuge for tired travelers who cross amazing distances. However, the road to this paradise is full of invisible dangers and challenges that push the endurance of the planet's largest mammals to the limit. Exhaustion lurks at every kilometer, while fat reserves are consumed to fuel the constant movement of their monumental bodies. A 15-meter-long female humpback whale leads the way, guided by an instinctive map etched in her genes for millennia. Her dark skin is marked by scars from past encounters, but her determination remains intact beneath the undulating surface. She desperately seeks the safety of quiet bays to give birth to her small calf, far from the rough waters of the open sea. The success of her mission will ensure the continuity of a lineage that has survived the darkest eras of Earth's history. If she fails to find this sanctuary before the southern winter intensifies, the newborn will not have the necessary protective layer to survive. Time is running out, and every beat of her immense heart consumes energy she no longer has a way to recover. The group of giants looks for acoustic and thermal signals while navigating through underwater canyons that act as natural guides toward the archipelago. Their small but attentive eyes scan the infinite blue for the familiar silhouette of the volcanic lands. The humpback whale's pectoral fins can measure up to 5 meters long, being the largest in proportion to its body among all cetaceans. These aerodynamic tools allow it to perform precise turns and maneuvers of surprising agility for a 30,000 kilogram animal. When propelling himself out of the water, the male generates an impact force exceeding 150,000 newtons to create an explosion of foam and sound. This action is not only a demonstration of vigor, but a form of communication transmitted through water vibrations. On the threshold of the archipelago, the group encounters a strong countercurrent that threatens to divert them from their sacred route. Waves break with fury against their bodies, forcing them to make a supreme physical effort that stresses their gigantic lungs. The female breaks the barrier of the currents and finally enters the stillness of the protected bay just as the sun begins to hide. In the turquoise gloom, the miracle of life manifests with the birth of a 4-meter calf seeking its first breath. The small whale calf needs to quickly consume maternal food, which has a fat content of nearly 50% to strengthen itself. This intensive diet allows it to gain nearly 50 kilograms of weight each day, preparing it for the challenges to come. The males patrolling the perimeter emit complex songs that reach 180 decibels and can travel across entire ocean basins. These low frequencies act as a sound shield that keeps group members informed about the presence of strangers. The success of the birth in Fernando de Noronha represents the triumph of perseverance over the immensity of an often hostile ocean. The new generation begins its life in an environment of 26 degrees Celsius, which favors healthy and rapid growth. These majestic creatures are the engineers of the marine ecosystem because their movements redistribute essential nutrients that feed the ocean's microscopic life. Without their presence, the biological balance of tropical waters would be seriously compromised and weakened. But peace is only a brief interlude before instinct orders them to undertake the dangerous return journey toward the ice borders. The true test of survival is just beginning for the small giant who must now face the open world. The reef's crevices are covered by a dense carpet of algae that sway gently with the rhythm of the tropical tide. In this world of textures and shadows, every centimeter of rock hides a secret, awaiting the right moment to reveal itself to the attentive observer. However, the calm is deceptive, as larger predators patrol the open waters, seeking any unusual movement among the coral. A mistake in visibility could attract the attention of a superior hunter, transforming the rock inhabitant into easy and vulnerable prey. A Caribbean reef octopus blends perfectly with its environment, mimicking the roughness of the stone and the color of nearby sponges. This cephalopod of approximately 3 kilograms possesses one of the brightest and most complex minds in the entire kingdom of marine invertebrates. Its goal is to locate a nutritious crustacean to satisfy its hunger without exposing its soft body to the dangers of the open sea. It needs to act with absolute caution to ensure its dinner does not escape into the inaccessible depths of the volcanic crevice. If the octopus fails to capture food soon, its energy will decrease, affecting its ability to process the complex pigmentation changes of its skin. Failure in hunting could compromise its primary defense, leaving it exposed to the eyes of hungry passers-by roaming the reef. The predator uses its 8 arms, equipped with hundreds of suckers, to explore every dark corner with extreme tactile sensitivity. Each tentacle acts almost independently, processing information from the environment while the central eye searches for a familiar silhouette of a crab or a shrimp. This creature can change its appearance in less than a second, thanks to thousands of pigment cells called chromatophores that cover its body. This biological adaptation allows it to mimic not only the color, but also the physical texture of the marine substrate with an accuracy amazing to the human eye. A robust crab detects a strange presence and takes refuge behind a colony of fire corals that can cause damage to any intruder. The terrain becomes dangerous for the octopus because accidental contact with these structures could cause severe irritation to its sensitive tissues. With a fulminating decision, the octopus launches a coordinated attack, projecting its body forward with a high-pressure jet of water. Its arms surround the prey in an inescapable embrace, while its jaws prepare to finalize the encounter and ensure the necessary sustenance. The predator returns to the safety of its rocky den to consume its trophy away from any unwanted competition in the complex reef. It has demonstrated once again that intelligence and camouflage are much more powerful weapons than brute force in this dynamic blue kingdom. The existence of the reef octopus is a testament to the evolutionary sophistication that allows beings without a skeleton to thrive among formidable hunters. Its role is vital for keeping small invertebrate populations balanced and ensuring the continued health of the island's marine ecosystem. But even the Master of Shadows must remain alert, because in the ocean there is always someone bigger lurking at the edge of the abyss. A new visitor with an aerodynamic silhouette approaches from the deep waters, bringing a challenge that will test the reef's peace. Noronha's submerged forest shines under sunbeams that filter through the liquid surface like columns of pure crystal. Coral structures extend in a vibrant mosaic of purple and golden colors that give life to this remote corner of the Atlantic Ocean. But this architectural beauty faces the invisible threat of rising global temperature that stresses the delicate builder organisms. If the water gets too warm, the coral loses its symbiotic algae, transforming into a pale skeleton devoid of all its original vitality. The true protagonists are the tiny coral polyps, animals of barely a few millimeters that work tirelessly to erect these calcium carbonate fortresses. Each generation settles on the remains of its predecessors, creating a complex relief that serves as a home for thousands of marine species. The objective of this underwater metropolis is to provide shelter and food to a biodiversity that far exceeds that of any terrestrial tropical forest. Here, balance is fundamental for the biological cycles of reproduction and growth to develop successfully under the pressure of the blue. The disappearance of this habitat would mean the end of a natural nursery that sustains the abundance of the seas and the economy of coastal communities. Without the protection of these reefs, fish populations would decrease drastically, breaking the food chain of the entire surrounding ecosystem. Surgeonfish and damselfish navigate through the intricate crevices, seeking protection from the predators that constantly patrol the outer edges of the reef. Each cavity in the coral is a valuable hiding place that guarantees a moment of peace in a world where vigilance must be total. Although reefs occupy less than 1% of the ocean floor, they house approximately 25% of all known marine life on the planet. Zooxanthellae algae live inside the coral tissues, providing up to 90% of the necessary energy through the process of photosynthesis. Excess sediment can block essential sunlight, preventing the ecosystem from performing its vital function of energy production and structural growth. A change in water clarity of barely a few meters can suffocate the reef builders, stopping centuries of uninterrupted biological development. The result is a network of interconnected life that protects the coasts from erosion, and ensures the purity of the tropical waters of Fernando de Noronha. This sanctuary is not just a static refuge, but the beating heart of the archipelago that pumps life toward the farthest reaches of the open sea. However, the landscape changes rapidly when evening shadows begin to lengthen over the crests of the coral reef under the moon. New protagonists prepare to emerge from their hiding places, revealing an unknown and a much more active facet of this kingdom during the dark hours. Beneath the surface of the pelagic zone of Fernando de Noronha, an athlete moves whose speed defines the rhythm of the open ocean. The yellowfin tuna, scientifically Thunus albicans, is the sovereign of hydrodynamics in tropical currents. Its fusiform physiognomy is designed to minimize the resistance of the liquid, allowing it to navigate with absolute technical efficiency. An adult specimen can reach a mass of 180 kilograms and a length of 2.4 meters in its biological prime. This elite predator is capable of reaching speeds of up to 75 kilometers per hour in an explosive acceleration race. Its eyes capture light radiation in the gloom of the depths, granting it a sensory advantage over its targets. While patrolling the deep blue, it uses its superior vision to detect schools of small fish at great distances. It possesses a heat exchange system that keeps its muscles at a temperature higher than that of the surrounding aquatic environment. The power of its strike generates a force measured in newtons that instantly neutralizes the mobility of the schools. As a key piece of the pelagic ecosystem, its activity regulates the flow of energy between various levels of the food chain. These tireless nomads travel thousands of kilometers a year, connecting the biodiversity of different oceanic regions. The yellowfin tuna represents the vitality and perfection of natural design in the heart of the South Atlantic. In the depths of the Fernando de Noronha reefs, there is a territory where peace replaces the tension of biological encounters. Not all interactions in the deep blue are based on the hunting instinct. Some are founded on mutual cooperation. Cleaning stations are strategic points of the coral where small organisms offer vital services to the ocean's large inhabitants. The cleaner shrimp, scientifically known as Lismata amboinensis, is one of the most diligent operators of these natural health centers. With a weight of barely a few grams, this crustacean possesses superior technical agility to move over irregular surfaces. Alongside it, the cleaner fish or wrasser uses its small jaw to perform biological maintenance tasks on the clients who visit it. The encounter begins when a massive client, such as a 50-kilogram grouper, approaches and emits a visual signal of calm. The large inhabitant opens its mouth and extends its gills, allowing the operators to begin their work of millimetric exploration. The cleaners remove ectoparasites and damaged tissue, ensuring the hygiene and well-being of the superior organism. In exchange for this service, the small specialists obtain a constant source of vital energy and nutrition. It is a show of absolute trust, where the feeding instinct stops to allow the flow of symbiosis. Even the most powerful trackers respect these neutral zones, recognizing the biological value of maintaining the ecosystem's health. The precision of this work is amazing, operating in delicate cavities with a smoothness that avoids any physical damage. The presence of these stations is an indicator of the reef's health, reflecting the balance and harmony of aquatic life. This millennial cooperation proves that survival in the ocean depends not only on force, but also on social intelligence. In the immensity of the South Atlantic, an invisible motor of liquid energy transports the very essence of life toward the coasts of Noronha. The South Equatorial Current acts as the great architect that shapes the biodiversity of this volcanic archipelago. This constant flow covers thousands of kilometers from African coasts to nourish the heart of the Brazilian Ocean. Upon colliding with the archipelago's base, the liquid ascends in an upwelling process that raises nutrients from the abyssal depths. Phytoplankton and zooplankton flourish in these oxygenated waters, establishing the energetic base of the local food web. Under the tropical sunlight, the transparency of the liquid allows photosynthesis to reach phenomenal levels of productivity. Immense schools of small fish are swept by these currents, becoming a vital resource for trackers. Elite predators, such as tuna and sailfish, patrol these aquatic highways following the chemical trail of their prey. The water temperature remains at a constant average of 26 degrees Celsius, ideal for the development of coral systems. The massive flow mobilizes millions of liters per second, ensuring that the ecosystem is renewed with each tidal cycle. This phenomenon transforms Noronha into an oasis of absolute abundance in the middle of an oceanic desert of low productivity. The interaction between currents and underwater geography creates eddies that concentrate organic matter for bionic sustenance. The richness of these waters is superior to that of surrounding regions, attracting migratory species from various latitudes. As a fundamental piece of climatic balance, ocean currents regulate the flow of heat and energy across the Atlantic. Noronha is a testament to the power of the sea, a sanctuary forged by the eternal dynamics of water in motion. Under the silvery glow of the moon, an ancestral ritual begins on the virgin sands of Fernando de Noronha. The green turtle, scientifically known as Chelonia midas, returns to the same site where its life began decades ago. With a mass that can reach 190 kilograms, this marine colossus moves with effort over the solid terrain. It possesses extraordinary navigation capacity, using the Earth's magnetic field to locate its beach of origin with millimetric precision. The female uses her hind fins as technical excavation tools to create a safe incubation chamber in the sand. In each biological encounter with the sand, she deposits approximately 120 eggs, ensuring the continuity of her ancestral lineage. The temperature of the sand, measured in degrees Celsius, will determine the gender of the future generation that will inhabit the ocean. After an incubation period of 60 days, the small turtles break the shell simultaneously to start their race for life. They emerge from the depth of the nest, becoming a tide of vital energy heading instinctively toward the deep blue. On the surface, they must move with strategic speed to neutralize the threat of the trackers patrolling the beach. Their eyes capture the reflection of starlight on the liquid, using it as a visual guide to orient their trajectory toward the sea. Biological statistics indicate that only 1 in every 1,000 turtles will reach the maturity necessary to repeat this millennial cycle. Upon reaching the water, they must navigate cautiously to avoid direct encounters with the reef inhabitants monitoring the coast. As a keystone species, the green turtle regulates seagrass meadows, maintaining the health and balance of coastal systems. The rebirth of turtles in Noronha is a testament to nature's resilience and the importance of preserving its sacred refuges. The biological rhythm of Fernando de Noronha is dictated by a seasonal transition that redefines resource availability. The rainy season, extending from February to July, bathes the archipelago with rainfall that transforms the terrestrial relief. The flow of fresh water toward the sea carries organic sediments that enrich the superficial strata of the coast. During this period, the temperature of the liquid remains at a constant average of 27 degrees Celsius. Upon the arrival of the dry season in August, underwater visibility reaches phenomenal levels of up to 50 meters deep. The transparency of the deep blue facilitates biological encounters and tracker interactions on the reef. The higher solar radiation during summer boosts the productivity of phytoplankton, the energetic base of the food web. Many migratory species, such as humpback whales, cross these coordinates looking for warm waters for their well-being. The green turtle's reproduction cycle is synchronized with the rise in sand temperature in the hottest months. Schools of fish move following thermal currents, covering distances of several kilometers each day. Scarcity or abundance of rain alters the environment's salinity, influencing the distribution of juvenile organisms. The Noronha archipelago demonstrates absolute resilience, adapting its vitality to the eternal dynamics of the tropical climate. The coral garden shines under the filtered light of the ocean, where warm currents gently rock the tentacles of a solitary anemone. This vibrant micro-ecosystem is an oasis of color in the middle of the blue immensity that guards invisible dangers for those who do not possess proper protection. Danger lurks in the form of strong currents that can sweep the smallest inhabitants toward the open sea, where predators patrol tirelessly. A homeless young fish is easy prey in this limestone labyrinth, where every shadow can hide an unexpected end for the unwary. A small clownfish, barely 10 centimeters long, swims cautiously between the reef crests, looking for a shelter that guarantees its survival. Its orange and white colors contrast with the dark background, revealing a fragility that is compensated by extraordinary courage and an unbreakable will. Its primary goal is to find a host anemone that provides security against attacks from larger fish roaming the sector. Without this strategic alliance, the small fish is exposed to the inclemencies of an environment that does not forgive a lack of biological protection. If it fails to establish this bond soon, fatigue will start to diminish its reflexes and turn it into a vulnerable target for nocturnal hunters. The search is a race against time before the sunlight disappears completely behind the archipelago's marine horizon. The clownfish explores deep crevices and coral valleys, following the chemical signals emitted by anemones through the surrounding water. Each movement is a tactical decision to avoid low visibility zones, where the loss of life can come in a blink of an eye. This small swimmer possesses a protective mucus layer that prevents the anemone's stinging cells from firing their venomous darts on contact. This unique adaptation allows it to live among tentacles that would generate enough chemical impact force to neutralize any other type of reef fish. A butterfly fish approaches with clear intentions of feeding on the delicate tissues of the anemone that is now the clownfish's home. The invader uses its elongated snout to try and pluck the tentacles, ignoring the presence of the small guardian who prepares to defend his sanctuary. With surprising aggressiveness, the clownfish lunges at the intruder, emitting warning noises that resonate in the water through its jaws. Despite the difference in size, the guardian manages to ward off the butterfly fish, ensuring the physical integrity of its host in a brief but intense encounter. The hierarchy in the group is strict and based on size, where the dominant female leads the colony over the largest male available. If the female disappears, the primary male will undergo a biological transformation, changing his sex to ensure the continuity of reproduction on the coral reef. The success of this symbiotic relationship ensures that both the anemone and the clownfish thrive in an environment that would otherwise be hostile to both. This union represents nature's intelligence in creating mutual cooperation bonds that challenge the rules of individual isolation beneath the waves. However, the balance of the reef is constantly tested by external forces threatening to alter the peace of this submerged paradise. A subtle change in currents brings with it the shadow of a giant seeking something more than just a simple refuge among the corals. Fernando de Noronha stands as the supreme bastion of conservation in the South Atlantic, a sanctuary protected by strict laws. The Marine National Park covers 70% of the archipelago's surface, guaranteeing the integrity of its unique biodiversity. Human access is regulated with technical precision, limiting the number of daily visitors to reduce pressure on the relief. Thanks to these measures, populations of marine mammals and reef trackers have shown a phenomenal and constant recovery. The prohibition of commercial extraction in protected zones has allowed the bentos to recover its natural and vital balance. The fish biomass index is superior to that of other coastal regions, making it a living laboratory of oceanic life. The Scientific Research Center constantly monitors coral health and liquid quality to ensure biological well-being. This resource management acts as an effective barrier against the degradation affecting other sanctuaries in the regional geography. The balance between human presence and biological integrity is a success model for environmental sovereignty in South America. Noronha is testament that conscious intervention can restore the majesty of creation in the heart of the sea. Upon contemplating the Fernando de Noronha horizon, a paradise is revealed where the majesty of creation reaches its maximum biological expression. This archipelago is the absolute domain of spinner dolphins and humpback whales that traverse its waters with supreme elegance. Beneath the water's surface, nurse sharks and green turtles coexist in a system that has remained almost unaltered for millennia. Every centimeter of this volcanic relief is a natural work of art, where the liquid's transparency allows for monitoring the benthos health. The sovereignty of this intact ecosystem is the result of rigorous technical management that prioritizes wildlife integrity. Noronha acts as an oceanic lung, filtering and renewing the vital energy of the currents that travel through the South Atlantic. The success of this marine reserve proves that habitat protection is the definitive tool to ensure the persistence of species. It is our ethical responsibility to preserve this legacy of biodiversity so that future generations inherit a vibrant and healthy ocean. By safeguarding every liter of water and every coral formation, we ensure that the sea's pulse continues to beat with absolute strength. Fernando de Noronha will remain the eternal guardian of oceanic life, a testimony of light and hope in the heart of Brazil. Subscribe to the channel in addition to sharing this video to carry this message of respect far. Every gesture helps protect nature's wonderful creation.